Okay, so we have a lot of new people who have not attended a ritual with us in the past. Thank you very much for coming. We're really excited to have you here. Let's see. We have just an incredible deluge of electromagnetic energy. It's overwhelming my system right now. The solar energy right now is absolutely off the chain. And the lunar energy too, of course. We have the full moon in Pisces tonight, so it's very special. Very good time. Oh, Ken left.
Well, maybe he'll come up.
If you have any questions, you can put them in the audio, but you could also, when the ritual is over, we'll answer those questions. The ritual itself will take about an hour to do, and Frater Anubis is going to do the entire thing. So your experience will be to just sit back and relax and enjoy this as you would. Many of you have had, some of you have had visionary experiences where you've done this sort of work before, and so you'll know what to do, but a lot of people are here that have not had those sorts of experiences. Wow, what are you burning?
It's a little frankincense. Sorry, should I open the window?
Yes, please, since I'm having lung issues. Thanks. So this is kind of going to speak to people who are new to this. If you haven't done this before, or and you want some guidance, we are going to connect through an egregore on some sort of level. And so what you do is going to feed into what everyone else is doing, what everyone else can accomplish. So keep that in mind when you think about folding your laundry during ritual because your video is not on, or something like that. I guess that would be okay if that helps you to meditate and anchors you and grounds you. But some other things that you could think about doing are just sitting and meditating, and maybe doing, if you have a mantra, now is an excellent time to be shuffling your tarot cards, as I've been encouraging everyone to do. You can also hold a stone and be working with a stone. But the best thing to do right now is really to be journaling, to be putting down the things that come to you in some sort of form so that you can go back and look at this later the next time we do a ritual. You can flip the page and say, oh, I saw a bird. And you'll completely have forgotten that you saw that bird, but you may have had several instances that were meaningful around birds during the course of the week, and that will tie everything back together for you. And it'll also help your conscious mind to be able to recall your experiences more clearly. You can expect that you will go into a trance and that your mind will wander, and that you'll feel like you're not connected, or that you're not even necessarily aware of what happened, or that you have no idea what you just experienced. Those are completely normal feelings. And I think that you should expect that. The energies are going to come from the ethers, they're going to come from the collective consciousness, through the unconscious, through your subconscious, and into your conscious mind, and then ground into what you think you understand of yourself as self, as an identity structure. And so your capacity to be able to channel those energies down is going to be reliant on how clear you are. If you have a lot of ruminative thoughts, the ruminative thoughts are going to come up, but you're going to see them in a particular shape and form. Specific aspects of those thoughts will be presented to you. It'll be designed in a particular way. Look for the symbols, jot them down. If you're clear and you've done a lot of work and you don't have a whole lot of ruminative thoughts, then you could have any number of different sorts of visionary experiences. So that's pretty much it for me on my end. I'm going to turn it over to our freighter here, who's very excited to be presenting for you.
So I've been building to this for a while. This is actually the fourth in a series of 4 rituals. I have a million things I'd love to tell you in a very short time to fill you in on how all this works, because it's pretty far down the rabbit hole. This is an Enochian angel. The Enochian angels, and experience them, they are like streams of energy with benevolent consciousness. The Enochian angels are part of reality and part of consciousness. They're part of the flow of energy that creates all of this. They're extremely friendly, and they all take in your spiritual development extremely seriously. They're all older than time, and they have a generosity that's quite embarrassing to experience, honestly. So this is the fourth of a working of the 4 sun seniors. They're called the kings. First, we did Son of Fire. That is the power of Leo, the charisma and power of Leo. Elder Prana.
Put that on the fire altar.
Yes. And then we did Ragioso, son of water. Who has the power of the sign of Cancer. Home, protection, comfort. Last we did Taiva, son of air, who is the power of Aquarius. Equality, science, learning, study. And this is the 4th king. Hikaz Ahikal, who represents the power of Sun and Taurus. It's the closest explanation as we can get to what his personality is going to be like. Now, when our group, we first start out studying elemental magic. There's 16 elementals, an element combined with an element. Those are very easy to feel, and they're a good place to start because they represent powerful emotional energies, which we have to get in contact with and settle with. Once that has been accomplished and experienced, we can move on to talismantic magic, which is where we're working with planetary elements, which is much more subtle, but it's an order of magnitude more powerful. So when we work originally with the earth element, we move around the temple clockwise, following the path of the sun during the day. Sun rises in the east, hottest when it's at noonday, so towards the south. It sets in the west. And at midnight, it's on the other side of the world. So north is for Earth. But we have to do things differently for talismantic when we're working with the planetary elements. So how are we going to invoke this angel? In this type of magic, what we do is we create what's called a resonant field, a field of energy that perfectly matches the personality, in this case, Son of Earth, and then we call the spirit into that field. The reason we take this approach is we are guaranteed that the correct spirit will show up. And very classical styles of invocation, you stand, you pray, and you call the spirit in, and then you test it, because the wrong spirit can show up. Any wandering spirit coming by sees a huge feast of energy, and it's naturally going to want to come and talk to you, and take up all your time, and feast on the power that you've generated. But by creating a field of energy that matches our target entity, we can be assured that both we will be in the right energetic state to commune with that force, and the correct force will show up. So tonight I'm going to do 2 rituals. First will be a temple opening. So I will go around in the elemental pattern clockwise, and I will call our spiritual allies and set up the holy space that we'll be able to call, do further rituals. It'll create sacred space, and it'll set our 4 watchtowers, and I'll call our spiritual allies, who are in this case the 4 archangels of the Tetramorph, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel, who will take up their places and keep everything on the level and watch over us and our adventures.
Which one are you gonna do?
I'll do Enochian Star Temple.
Okay.
So the Enochian Star Temple, each of our rituals, and we have about a dozen or so that we practice, tells a story. And the Star Temple tells the story of the Nephilim coming down to Earth to try to help out humanity by teaching us the arts of science, civilization, and magic, and of course we blow it. But many cultures around the world have that story, like the ancient Babylons with the Enochian, and even the Aztecs and Mayans had the same story of early human history. So that's the story that will be told there. So when we start, there'll be a brief period of meditation, then I'll get up and I'll consecrate the sacred space. And when I'm done, I'll sit down, and then I'll begin the Egyptian talismantic vortex. So for the talismantic magic, I needed a mythology, a story to tell. And the point of adding the story is that it's a very, very brief guided meditation to help take us into the right emotional, psychic, spiritual place. I needed a story about sacred time, because astrology and working with planetary magic is all about sacred time, whereas elemental is really more about sacred space. The story I chose is an extremely old story. It goes back to the founding of Egypt. You see, when our ancestors moved from a lunar calendar to a solar calendar, they discovered something that disturbed them. Our ancestors, and this is cultures all over the world, discovered that the year had 365 days, which was very upsetting because they viewed the heavens as perfect. And so what they wanted was 12 months of 30 days each, but they had these 5 extra days. So most of our ancestors chose to turn the 5 extra days as days outside of the year as sacred festival days. And that will be the story I'll tell. So having opened with this story, then I will begin to build the energetic field that we can invoke our angel into. So I need to invoke the sun, and I need to make earth, and I need to combine them. So how I'll do that is I will move around the temple counterclockwise, following the procession of equinoxes. I will invoke Aries for the spring equinox and earth, Cancer for the summer solstice of earth, Libra of earth for the vernal equinox, which is coming up, and lastly, Capricorn for the winter solstice. And then I'll tie it to a point below the temple, get it spinning, and we'll have a sort of a V-shaped vortex of zodiological earth energy coming up. That will be the earth element. So then I need to invoke a sun element, which I will do to above the temple by calling in our old buddy Okiel. Okiel is an angel called for the solar logos, or the sun energy. It comes from the Arbitel of Magic, which is a very good book. You should read it. And Okiel will come in and provide the sun energy. Then I will connect all the points together, forming basically like a pyramid on top of a pyramid, sort of a diamond shape. So we'll have that shape, but we need to get one step further. We'll have the sun energy and the earth energy, but they're not really combined yet. So the way that we combine these forces is to go deeper into it. And we do that with a gate structure. And don't worry, you're not supposed to completely memorize and study and know all this. Right? It's behooved on me to explain it ahead of time. And of course, it'll be available afterwards for questions, and I'll post the ritual. So a gate structure. A gate structure is a very important tool in your toolbox, and it's actually extremely simple. It's a triangle. It represents the path of the hero. In the class, we've talked about how there's 22 tarot cards, major arcana, and 22 steps in Joseph Campbell's cycle of the hero, the heroic journey of Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell is somebody that you should look into if you haven't. What he did was...
But also on the Magician's Tarot book that we just linked and we encouraged you to look at, we encourage you to look at that, especially people who want tarot books. That's the one that's written by Frater Barabbas, the founder of this temple. And he talks about the initiation cycle. And he talks about how each of the major arcana fit into Joseph Campbell's model of the cycle. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, it's really good. So the way I'll construct the gate to be able to move deeper into the energetic field is with the 3 major arcana. So at my left will be the guide, in this case represented by the High Priestess. In the hero's journey, the hero usually meets with some sort of spiritual guide once they've stepped onto the path that aids them and shows them what's ahead. So the guide on the left being because I'm right-handed, so the left is my weaker side, it's here to help. Then I'll invoke and charge the fierce guardian, in this case represented by the hermit. You know, in a lot of mythology, especially Arthurian, there's a hermit who's very dangerous. Represents the forces that are the boundary of what society considers acceptable, and it's often the cause of whatever calamity the hero's journey is about. So you have to face the fierce guardian and overcome them in order to reach the underworld.
That right there, see that? This is the Zoom problem.
And then, so the third node, we've got a guide to help us, a fierce guardian to overcome. That could be Cerebus, like in the underworld. And then, of course, what we have ahead of us is the ordeal, represented by the Tower card. So the hero gets a guide, gets some help, overcomes the guardian, and then goes into the underworld to face the ordeal, the transformation that we're after. Because magic is really ultimately about spiritual development. As you develop yourself spiritually and overcome the blockages and barriers and you're transformed, then you become a magician, you become powerful in the world. And we can contact the spirits and such things. So, should I give them an example? No, okay, all right, let's move on. So,
Do the gate structure on
I'll
the
create
floor.
the gate structure, charge it up, open it with the opening of the portal gesture, which is the opening of the curtains, move inside, taking everyone with me. If you're listening and carrying along, you'll be carried deeper into the field of energy. At that place, we're ready to conjure Ixakahia, our angel of Son of Earth. At that point, there's a couple things. We will put on our magic Pele rings and our breastplates or layman's. If you don't have, we gave them out in class, but I'm sure a lot of people don't have the rings and layman's. That's fine. The system will work just fine without the ring and layman. You could simply imagine that you have a great powerful magic ring when I hold mine up and charge it up and put it on. And then when we do the layman, just imagine that you have this powerful magical breastplate that you're going to put on that will protect you and help you connect deeper with the magic. It's part of the system, but it's not required for the system to work. And then I will call the angel in. We'll have a time of meditation.
About 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes where we'll have visualization, and then we'll charge up the sigil, which I'm leaving here on the earth altar until we're ready to charge it. I'll place it in the center. By then we'll have a stack of talismans. There's actually a few here already. And we'll power it up and go have a charged talisman. So Son of Earth, just to remind everybody, is the most positive aspects of Taurus. So the ability to work hard as effortlessly, to be in the zone with your accomplishments and the things that you want to do, effortless hard work to be able to achieve things, and also luxury and wealth and comfort. So that is what the talisman will grant you. So a talisman is meant to bring some sort of positive energy into your life, constantly and forever. And this will be quite a powerful one. The Enochian angels are very powerful beings, but they're careful. They won't give you more energy than you can handle. And in fact, if you feel overwhelmed, just cross your arms and legs and it'll back off, because they don't want to scare you. They're very, very friendly. It's almost like inviting your grandmother over for a tea party. They're very sweet. So, and then we'll close after that. And I will try to, as I move through the rituals, I will try to make it obvious what I'm doing. And I think that's all I need to say. Okay, you're good. All right, so I think we should begin.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to start with a very brief meditation, and then we'll get this show started. Yehovah Elohim, Yehovah Eloah Veda, Shaddai Hai, Adonai Hare. Inheritor of a dying world, we call thee to living beauty. Wanderer in the wild wilderness, we call thee to the gentle light. Long hast thou dwelt in darkness. Quit the night and seek the day. In ancient times, long before the rise of humanity's civilization, unity became duality, and war was waged throughout the inner planes between the forces of light and darkness. Thus, duality and its eternal conflict came into being. The forces of light and darkness each included 400 stellar beings called angels by the ancients. Separate from these beings, a third force existed. 400 angels who remembered the state of unity and who chose to transcend duality, the keepers of the divine gnosis, that towards which we aspire. In the name of the stellar guardians of the divine wisdom, I bless the water contained in this chalice. May it become sacred as the flowing waters of the infinite cosmic sea. I bless the salt upon this altar with the divine forces of the gnosis, which transcends all polarities. May it embody the strength of formation. The divine magic of Chinook is the union of opposites. The mixing of the sacred salt and water is the first act of uniting the polarities, the creation of a holy elixir, which shall consecrate the stellar temple. The eons passed, and humanity proceeded to evolve. As we increased our capabilities, the conflicting forces of light and darkness utilized us as pawns in their struggle. The stellar guardians of the Grail, who wished to assist the process of human evolution, thus freeing us from ignorance, sent 200 of their number to Earth, bringing with them the fire of divine wisdom. The Nephilim descended upon the earth and taught humanity the sacred art of magic, the secrets of the stellar realms, and the blessings of the elements. Humanity was not prepared to receive the ancient stellar wisdom of the Nephilim. We abused the powers, using the most high magic for petty purposes and to gain control over others. Great magical battles were fought, and the contagion of evil covered the earth. The stellar lords, seeing humanity's folly, dispatched 4 mighty angels who sealed the Nephilim and their magical arts in the dimensions between worlds, where they silently await our coming. To once again acquire the ancient star lore of the Nephilim, we must prove ourselves worthy. Having done so, we will be given the keys to unlock the stellar gates and commune with the keepers of the divine wisdom. Oro ipa eozope exarte. I summon you forth, O Raphael.
Come to us, guardian of the eastern stellar gate. Grace us with your breath, which blows forth as the divine wind. Teach us your virtues, which are equanimity and balance, healing and compassion for others. Deem us worthy to receive the first key, so we may attain the secrets of the high star magic. Oro te I a pe te o ke I te I to me. Appear before us, Lord Mikael. We conjure you, O protector of humanity. You are as a lightning bolt which illuminates the dark void. You are the bringer of light, of fire. Teach us your virtues, which are openness to the divine wisdom and illumination. Purify us with your flames, and grant that we are worthy to receive the second key, so we may unlock the stellar gates and pass into the realms of the Star Lords. Empeha re estel gea ole he ko maya. Come to us, Gabriel, Archangel of the Chalice and the Silver Crescent. Teach us your virtues of love, devotion, and selfless sacrifice. Aid us in our deepest meditations so we become connected with the source of all consciousness. Help us attain the ecstatic states of being, which reveal to us the third key to the gates of stellar awareness. Mo'a de ale he ke te ga na nu te ya. I invoke you, Uriah, Archangel of the realms of earth. From you we learn the virtues of centeredness and inner contemplation. You teach us stillness so we can hear the silent voice of the inner self. Appear and aid us, O Uriah. Make manifest the fourth key, which shall allow us to enter the in-between spaces, the inner dimensions of our own being. By learning the virtues of the archangels of the Tetramorph, we are given the keys to unfolding the self. It is the underlying unity of the four elements which bestows upon us the fifth key to the stellar reaches. When we unite the four elements within ourselves, we become truly human. In becoming human, we can attain the stars. The expanse of stars reveals itself. We rush towards the stellar reaches. Come to us, Star Lords of the Nephilim. We call upon you, She'ezma'ez and Azael, Lords of the Arlim. Teach us your secrets. Reveal to us our inner selves. Help us attain the celestial spiritual heights. I invoke the powers of the first, which shall open the gates of darkness beyond the spirals of the Azanai. Open the mysteries of creation as a flower. Unto me is the star child reborn and resurrected. In the name of the unity of being, the power is in my heart,
on my lips, in my eyes, and in my soul. O el vinu de unusa de ael das triani o do e eoni antar a comi salahote de azoni zoda odo kikale la qua anta lo selque pa invete o el I noromi e o I vea al holante al go holonte do amaos de yagna pa invete o el o no nonas o el do al balam o el do o wano anim o el do Holy art thou, Lord of the universe. Holy art thou, the vast and mighty one. Holy art thou, whom nature hath not formed. Lord of the light and of the darkness. By the word Peraketh and the sign of the rending of the veil, I declare that the temple has been opened. In the beginning, the heaven and the earth were lovers. Nuth, the sky goddess, and Geb, the earth god, rolled in endless ecstasy. On the first day, the sun god, Ra, as the sun rose, saw this and was jealous, for he knew that the children of Nuit and Geb would be so powerful that they would determine the fate of the universe. In a fit of jealousy, Ra spoke his horrible curse. Nuit would not give birth during any day of the year, and he had Shu lift Nut up into the sky, away from her arms of her lover, Geb, the earth. Great Ra immediately regretted this curse, but a decree of the gods cannot be easily undone. The universe was thrown out of balance. That is when I, Tahuti, the Lord of balance and equilibrium, knew it was my duty to set the world right again. I made a pact with the goddess of the moon, she who lightens the darkness, for 1/72 of her light. With this light, I fashioned 5 new days to the year. 5 sacred days, sacred time, the in-between time, when all is possible and even the decrees of the gods can be overcome. Nuit gave birth to her mighty children during the 5 in-between days, gods and goddesses that would shape humanity for eons. Great Ra looked upon the children of heaven and earth and was pleased. So, new F, to rule. I invoke the Sutek, rebel of the gods, fierce warrior and lover. Only you can withstand the fierce gaze of Apep. Lend us your courage that we may be reborn as the sun and light and glory. Hail and welcome, Sutek. Empea Orestel Kea Olei Sai. Happiness. I invoke the Nephthys, excellent goddess, who grants joy and comfort. It is you who assist all in becoming whole. Hail and welcome, Nephthys. Oro Iba Eozope Taka Om. To grow. I invoke the Osiris. You renew the world with the power of the life force. Bring us your life-giving force that we may flourish in life. Hail and welcome, Osiris.
Mo'a. Biale hekitega. Oma. Wisdom. I invoke the Isis, queen of the fertile earth, greatest of magicians. We ask for your wisdom that we may have a knowing heart. Hail and welcome, Isis. Enu Beha Goheid, the everlasting. I invoke the Rahur, star child of the new eon. From you we gain the power to create our own destiny, and even the stars in the sky will assist us in following our true will. Si Oma Kakom Sonef Gohied Ka Koaske, time. There is no time, only an eternal sacred now. The summoning of the star. Yehovah Eloah Vedad. Akaladna I umeda da eovi eote te kodazi zoda da si dana zoda alona de zonizodat veloci izaza zoda o wanon iuran de amanin iuma e akare de tofergo kazoda o at de madrix od areasai od aran ad ade luca iral tinal iona to the tere lape so tiro nuko mate hoatehe iaida. I reveal the secret of thy image, O Okiel. Thou art the power and beauty of the light, which blesses us in the dawn and graces us with sight, insight, and renewal. Thou art the purity and balance, the mediation of the one true spirit. We see in the solar logos the benefactor of the genius of humanity. From you we receive the light of knowledge and the joy of liberation from ignorance. Okay. I open the gate between worlds. I summon the guardian, Anubis. Be our guide on the path forward. Open the way ahead of us. Show us what we can achieve and guide us to our true destiny. I open the gate between worlds. I summon the fierce guardian, Sekhmet. You are the force that holds us back that we must overcome at the edge of what society deems acceptable. Hold us back by fear if we are unworthy to venture forward, and let us proceed if we are indeed worthy to proceed to the underworld. I open the gate between worlds. I summon the ordeal itself, Apep. You are the force within ourselves that we must overcome and transform in order to gain the boon that we seek. Guide, guardian, ordeal. I open the gate between worlds. Teach us, O Creator of all things, to have correct knowledge and understanding, for your wisdom is all we desire. Speak your word into our ear, O Creator of all things, and set your wisdom in our hearts. Amen. Behold the ring. Lo, this is it, wherein all miracles and divine works and wonders were wrought by Solomon. This is it, which the archangel Michael has revealed unto us. This is it, which philosophy dreamt of. This is it, which the angels scarce know. This is it, and blessed be its name, yea, its name be blessed forever. Without this, we shall do nothing. Blessed be its name that encompasses all things. Wonders are in it, and its name is wonderful. Pele, its name works wonders from generation to generation. Amen. Behold the layman, as the holy table conciliates heaven and earth. Let this layman, which I have placed over my heart, conciliate me to the holy table. Amen. Sapa, zere de tir, o de sonaf, ta que nuef, adarpa, torfal, kasoge, o de efa o entes, peripel, ta beliar, kasan Sarin, Ari Pazir, Naz, Aite, Aef Ode, De Le Ugiar, Zirzop, Zeliar, Kasoge, Tole Torge, Ode Zekiris, Eresa Sake, El Ode Viv, Ode Iade, Tor Elde, De Is Pira, Hubir, Piroel, Soba, Cor Mefa, Kase Ta El, Veles ode que co caspe, ca ne iso ode darbs, quea as, if itarze, ode bagale, iai ael, ana es, kikale, bagale, iade I el. To amaos de nanutea, que huas que queaan. To amaos de maa de ale heketega, to amaos de huas de shaidan. To amaos de ikazi hekael. Do amaos de yasna. I invoke thee, O talismantic elemental and senior of emotional sentience. Thou art Ikazahekau. I summon the spirit of Ikazahekau, the emotional ideal of Son of Earth, by the names Iao, Abraxon, Hirame. I call thee to appear, O Kazahekel. I summon thy ray of blended power, with being to come forth and empower this work of magic perpetually. I reveal the secret of thy power, O Kazahekel. Thou art strong and determined seeker, who is always purposeful and successful in material pursuits. Thou art also a lover of fine things and successful in acquiring them, being generous as it suits thee. Come forth and reveal the mystery of thy manifestation. Avavago de keozio dabs in molovi hugo quean pilade lape ir hoas de yaida. I charge this talisman with the power is a ka, he, ka, perpetually. Ikaza Hekel, we thank you for your presence this evening and for your wisdom and the many blessings that you have brought and will bring to us through the power of the talismans that you have charged. Stay if you can, leave if you must. All sentient beings.
Now, by this merit may all sentient beings know peace.
The rite is now complete.